What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and bring it to you raw. We're going to talk to a brother that spent 12 years of his life in the Alabama Department of Corrections, went through some stuff, seen some things that, we've been talking about. This brother ended up going to prison for some shit for real that he didn't do. He did 12 years, ended up writing his own motion after he was sentenced to 2 life sentences. Thought he was never getting out, reached out to lawyers, asking people for help. Southern Law Poverty Center, nobody would help this brother. So he got himself in the law library, went down there, put that work in, and got himself out of prison on 2 life sentences for some shit he didn't do. And we're going to hear about his story. But listen to what the Alabama Department of Corrections does. They send this man out to the street with no family after 12 years in prison with $10 and a bus ticket and wish him good luck. And we want to talk about how people recidivate and how they come back to prison and reentry. This man ain't got much. So I'm going to tell people, after you listen to his story, if you feel compelled, I'm going to put his Cashapp in the links. This brother's out here with nothing, struggling. He's out looking for a job right now. He actually got off the bus so that we could do this interview, and then he's going to get back on that job hustle, looking for a job. But instead of donating today to the channel, man, if you want, I want you to donate to this brother. We'll put his Cashapp in the links. I'm going to donate this brother $100, man, to help him out because it's a struggle. So anyway, we're going to get to it. Clifford, tell the people who you are and tell them where you're from, and let's talk about your story.
My name is Clifford Ellis. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. And this happened in Coosa County, Rockford, Alabama. And it happened in April 6, 2011. I was in a car wreck. A man hit me, split my car half in 2, killing my girlfriend. He hit another car. He was trying to pass a Grand Am. He hit that car, and my girlfriend grabbed the steering wheel because I had a seizure. Took us off the road, and when she tried to put it back in the road, the man in the F-250 truck and hit the Grand Am trying to get back in his lane, speed up and hit me. I was in a Honda Accord, split my car half in 2. Then my girlfriend come out the windshield. State trooper said it ain't my fault. I never get no ticket or nothing. 7 months later, they come and said that I'm indicted for vehicular manslaughter. And I ain't never received no ticket. I never been arrested. I'm already in a circuit court. I'm already in the higher court. I ain't go to district court. I ain't never had a warrant for a magistrate or judge. I ain't had no preliminary here, none of that. So I said, this something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So when they supposed to be taking me to trial for vehicular manslaughter. Now in trial, the judge, keep this in mind, when I was in the county jail, they beat me. They shot me with taser 5 times and kept taking the legal paper from me, stopped me from putting on my defense. They had a civil lawsuit on me at the same time. The civil got dismissed for the lack of prosecution. Then, when they supposed to be taking me to court for vehicular manslaughter, the judge changed the charge in trial from vehicular manslaughter to reckless manslaughter. You can't do that. But he turned around and sentenced me to 2 consecutive life sentences for vehicular manslaughter. That's 2 offenses. That's a great offense and a lesser included offense. Now, they said about my blood alcohol level. They said my blood alcohol level was 0.124, way over the legal limits. But the forensic scientist lab report showed that my blood alcohol level was 0.071 under the legal limits of being drunk. They ain't never showed that in trial. I went to a 5-hour trial to start at 9 o'clock, 3:30 trial over with.
Sentenced you to 2 life sentences. How old were you when they...
2 consecutive.
How old were you? How old?
Huh? I was 29. And now I'm 42. I just got out March the 20th. I went to court March the 22nd. And they didn't want to let me go out of prison. They sent me back to the prison. They hold me a whole nother day to the next day because they said, how can I get out of prison for 2 consecutive life sentences?
After you win and get resentenced, the Department of Alabama, the correctional system, says, I'm not letting you out of jail no matter what the judge said.
They ain't let me out to the next day.
Unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? I know you've been out since March. It's been a struggle. You had nowhere to live, pretty much on the street, but you're out here looking for a job. And hey, I commend you for that, right? And I know that you need help. You reached out to me after seeing the Alabama stuff that I put up, and you're like, hey, man, I want to come on and talk about this. And I offered to, give a donation and ask people to help you. So it is a struggle for people that don't. Well, he's been out since March. Look, man, it's a struggle. It's a struggle out here. But you are looking for a job, right?
Yes, sir. Going to do for a job.
What's it like for a 29-year-old man to go to hold out Hold on.
doing a background check on me. These records, they still coming up on me. But I just went to court Monday. Keep this in mind. Monday, they just had me go back to court at Houston County. And I tell the judge, Your Honor, what legal charge that I had on me? Because when he brought me back in March, he resentenced me to vehicular homicide that I never was indicted for, never went to court for. You know what I'm saying? Gave me 5 years, but I did 12 years.
Listen, I want to talk a little bit. I understand that. And I told you, man, we're going to maybe possibly help you with a lawsuit. But let's talk about this, right? You're 29 years old. You got 2 life sentences for your girlfriend who died, right? I mean, obviously you loved her and cared about her. We talked briefly about that. What's it like for you to walk into prison at 29 years old with 2 life sentences, man?
Man, it was kind of hard on me, man, because it was 2 consecutive, running wild. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I ain't got but one life. I had to do one, make a road on one life and stop on the next. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of hard and difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I said, I just can't die in here. I said, I know God ain't saved my life to allow these people to take my life. You know what I'm saying? So I started writing equal justice. I started writing Southern Private Law Center. I wrote Innocent Project of Georgia, Innocent Project of New York. I wrote Appleseed. I'm just writing it, asking everybody for help. Nobody seemed to want to help me. You know what I'm saying? And I just asked God, please give me the wisdom, knowledge, understanding to do this law work. You know what I'm saying? And keep my mind intact so I won't get caught up in this prison system. You know? But in that prison, man, you go through so much, you know what I'm saying? It's a corrupt system now in Alabama. You know, and they hold me against my will, you know, because I was never indicted, you know what I'm saying? And by me going into that prison system, it's so corrupt enough, and they keep talking about being a new prison, you know what I'm saying? But why you want to be a new prison? Look at the condition that the people are living in right now. It's raining inside the building, it's black mold in the bathroom, holes in the floor, you know what I'm saying? The roaches and stuff in the bed, you know what I'm saying? And how you gonna want to be a new prison and ain't concerned about the people living in the condition they in now? That's the menace.
I mean, I understand that. I want to talk a little bit about that system. I want you to take us inside, man. I mean, there's extreme violence in there, right? What's all the violence over, man?
No, the violence over, you know, because they put the drugs in there. You know what I'm saying? And the white boy, they ain't got no chance. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to get high on the drug. They having sex, you know what I'm saying? They ain't want to stand up for themselves. They get slapped around, you know what I'm saying, beat up on because they'll look at the white boys saying they folks get them a little money and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they'll try to use them as ransom. You know what I'm saying? And they won't stand up and do nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And turn them out, make them become sisters and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll run their tab up, give them a little small drug and run their tab up. And when they run the tab up, they got them.
Ask you about that. You said the white boys, they turn them into sissies.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you said they're having sex. I mean, what? They get them into a small drug debt and they say, hey, the only way you can repay it is for me to hump you type shit?
Yeah. And they won't even stand up and do nothing. And they get beat on for so long, they'll just give in and do whatever they want to do to them. They tie them up. They be having people tied up. You know what I'm saying? The white boy be tied up. And when the officer come do the count, they'll just ask how many people you got. They be having people tied up for weeks, man.
You're telling me that the other prisoners are tying these white dudes up in their cells?
Tying them up in their cells because they be an open bait. You know what I'm saying? And then they put them under the rats. They tie them up, put them under the rats. They make them sit in the corner and beat on them. And they ain't got no kind of protection in it, and nobody ain't doing nothing about it.
The cops don't see this because they just come in and say, how many people are here? They don't even walk by to look.
That's it. They ain't got no kind of control, and then they ain't, it's unsecurity. They don't say they don't have another officer to try to secure the prison. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And they scared.
Police are scared too.
Yeah. And then the police be having people that they hire for the hitman too. Inmates is the hitman for the police.
That's crazy, man. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You ever see any white boys in there that got busy? Any that hung out with black dudes? Or, I mean, was there any white dudes that weren't punks?
Yeah, it's a few you know what I'm saying? But, you know, but majority of them, they punks and they get taken over, you know what I'm saying? But then a lot of white boys, they become SB, AB. They'll try to join that for the protection. You know what I'm saying? Southern Brotherhood or Aryan Brotherhood. So they be have some kind of protection. You know?
Let me ask you about the Southern Brotherhood or Aryan Brotherhood. Are they I mean, do they get busy? Are people like, yo, them dudes will fight?
Now they'll fight. You know what I'm saying? But at certain counts, they'll lay down because other people won't allow them to group up like that. You know what I'm saying? So they can't get together. You know what I'm saying? The warden brought all the Southern Brotherhood knives.
Warden did?
The warden did. He was a white warden. He brought all the Southern Brotherhood a knife.
What jail was that at?
St. Clair.
Were the black dudes pissed off about that?
Yeah. And the warden ain't stricken.
Crazy shit going on in there, bro. What about you, man? You had 2 life sentences. Did you have to carry a knife in there?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because people's in there, they like, when they want to get high, they'll pick on anybody they think you weak. They always seeing me going to the La Beer, you know what I'm saying, and studying the law, you know, and I ain't never try to get my mind caught up in nothing else because I knew one thing, I can't die in here. You know what I'm saying? And I had 2 ribs been broke, you know what I'm saying, in 3 weeks before I got released this year. A dude attacked me. You know what I'm saying? I had to get a knife to try to keep him up off me, but he hit me on my arm with an iron pipe because he want me to get him high.
Let me ask you a question, right? You said you had 2 ribs broken. When was that? Was that just recently?
Yeah, it was in February. They had to take me to the free. I walked around for 2 weeks with broke ribs, and then they want to take me to the Freeway Hospital. They said 2 of my ribs broke. I got records of that.
So this
guy was fighting, and they were coming out through my cut on my bed. I'm trying to jump up and get out of the way, and broke 2 of my ribs on the metal.
So now you're fighting with this dude. You get a knife. He's got a steel pipe. How does the fight end?
The police ran in, but he had already hit me on my arm with the iron pipe. So I had to grab the knife and say, man, listen, he ain't gonna run up on no, you know what I'm saying? No, I had 2 knives. You know what I'm saying? I know he ain't gonna run up on me because I know, man, I got this going on with the courts. I can't kill this man. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna let him just beat me down with the pipe and kill me. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't got no other choice. You know what I'm saying? Because he want to get high. So I had stand up with the 2 knives to the police run in, whole lot of police run in. Then they just, you know what I'm saying? They just kept us in the same count and made us just do a liver agreement.
Keep you in the same place after this dude hit you with a steel pipe. You 2 stay in the same prison.
Same prison.
I mean, like, you know, in the feds, when you get in a beef, if you stab somebody or you commit a vicious act like that, somebody leaves, somebody stays. You're in the same place with this person, man. One of us has got to leave.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I was still seeing it, but I gave and everything. I didn't want to do that because I know I had this court going on. I had the paperwork. I said, I'm finna go home. I ain't finna get tied up in this prison.
So when you talk about him, you know, wanting to get high, what does he do? Come to you and be like, yo, man, I need a couple dollars?
He said, man, I need some items. See, they got items in there. Give me some items so I can go buy me a junk, paper route junk. And I said, man, no, I ain't giving you my. I see you got a lot of items over here, and I want your item. Man, hold up, you ain't gonna take my item. You know what I'm saying? He's all right, I'll be back. So I'm thinking like, man, he just wigging. He tripped, he wigging. This man came back. I told you I want them items. You know what I'm saying? Hit me on my arm. Yeah.
Man. So, you know, when you say items, I want, you know, the viewers to know, do you mean commissary items, food items,
Right.
stuff that you can buy?
Yeah, stuff you can buy in the prison.
You know this cat? I mean, were you friends with him at one time? What would make him approach you?
Friends with him on norm, you know what I'm saying? And he was just in the dorm, you know, and he was kind of big dude. He was about 200-300 pounds. He's bigger than me. I'm like 170, you know.
Creating this environment where, you know what, you're fighting for your life in there, and you can end up killing this dude, and now you get another life sentence that you can't get out of. And really,
you can't get out.
It ain't your fault.
It ain't my fault. I'm sitting on my bed. I'm sitting on the wreck that they signed me on. And he come to me.
What's some of the most wildest things that you've seen there, man? I'm interested in knowing what exactly is going on in Alabama.
Man, it's so bad, man. I'm talking about they sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about they worse than the homeless people on the street. They sleeping on the floor and they wig and the police don't even check. One dude, I seen a Mexican, he had smoked something and he went and laid down on the floor, he was dead. They checked him hours later. About 8, 9 hours trying to wake him up off the floor. He was laying there dead.
Let me ask you this, right? Because, you know, I had put up a video that Bernard Jamison put up where he was outside. He said, look at this white dude laying on the ground. He's homeless in prison. And people are like, man, he ain't homeless, man. The cops ain't going for that. Tell the people why people are outside sleeping on the ground. Outside of the prison. They're homeless in prison. Tell us.
They homeless in prison because they sell their racks. And the police ain't trying to make them get on their racks or nothing. They sell their racks. They sell their mat. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they ain't making parole. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like the hope is gone. So they're doing anything to try to keep their mind off, you know what I'm saying, not dealing with doing the time. Because they feel like they're going to die in there anyway.
What you're saying is the people are selling their beds. When you say racks, it means bed. When you
bed, selling their bed, their rack, the bed.
They're saying, hold on, let me say this, right? So people know. So a dude might be getting high, he ain't got no money. He says, hey man, you want an extra mattress? I'll sell you my mattress. I don't need a mattress. What does a mattress go for in there? How much?
The mattress go for a top or 2 tops, you know what I'm saying? They're like, a top is 5 items. That's serious. Or they give you 10 items. That's for a mat. For a bed, they might give you about 2, 3 tops, about 10 to 15 food items for a bed.
So that's why these dudes are sleeping outside. They're homeless, and what? The cops just let them lay outside the dorm?
Count them on the floor.
This is the stuff that people need to hear. This is the stuff that the governor needs to fix. They need to change the culture inside this Alabama Department of Corrections. Bro, it just drives me absolutely nuts. I served almost 20 years of my life in prison. I do believe in civil rights. I'm not a bleeding heart liberal, but I do believe in rights, man. And you know what? These guys are drug addicted. They got issues. They need some real programming in there, man. They need to say what they want, some cop shit, whatever. You know what, man? They need to stop the flow of drugs that are coming into them prisons because that seems to be the root of the problem, right? The root of the problem is, man, these dudes are junkies. They're getting high. They're selling their beds. They're selling their food. They're getting beat up. They're, you know, the PREA, you know, the Rape Elimination Act isn't even in effect in that place. Dudes are selling their ass over there, man, to get high, bro, for some cigarettes, man. Oh, yep. It's outrageous, bro.
It's outrageous, man. And then there ain't no kind of control. They ain't trying to do nothing to help them to rehabilitate. And you know what I'm saying? They just I just got out of EMO. EMO ain't got a hospital. You got to go to another prison. You get stabbed. That's why a lot of people die at EMO. You got to go to another prison down the street to the hospital. It's a prison that don't even have a hospital or no nurse at nighttime to see about you, maybe you do get sick.
12 years that you served, I mean, I'm not saying you actually witnessed the actual stabbing, but, I mean, have you seen, I mean, obviously you probably seen.
Yeah, stabbing. I've seen people get killed. Yeah. And another thing that they did, too. I'm at Red Eagle at a work camp. Governor K. Ivory, during the COVID, said for nobody to check out. They checked me out and 4 white guys. We went and built a new prison.
You could go build a new prison.
We went and built a prison for Tutwiler intake. Yeah, Tutwiler didn't have no intake. Everybody, all the women used to go to Tutwiler to get intake. They took us from out of prison for free, and we went and built a new intake building for Tutwiler. A prison.
They didn't pay you for the work?
They ain't even pay us, no, for free.
Man, sometimes, you know, I'm usually not stuck for words, man, but I just think it's outrageous. I want to go back to the violence, right? Because I think there has to be a cure for the violence that's in Alabama, right? You talked about getting stabbed and seeing people murdered. What does it do to you mentally and emotionally to see someone die, man?
See, that's traumatized. You know what I'm saying? When you be talking to somebody and they lay down, don't even wake up. You know what I'm saying? You be right there in the line for to go eat with somebody. Somebody can walk up and stab them down. You know what I'm saying? You be in fear like, it could have been me. You know what I'm saying? And I always got to be looking over your shoulder, watching, because you can't trust nobody. Even the person that you might be cool with, he'll be the main one turn on you too. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to be on point. Slippers count. You can't be slipped. Here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think I cannot get tied in with a law. I need to learn this law to fight my case and get out of him because it's so easy to get tied up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Ask you this. You spoke about a Mexican dude that got high and died on the ground. I mean, are there a lot of Hispanics over there? Mexicans, Latins?
It probably about 10%. You know what I'm saying? It's not many though, about 10%.
They stick together? Is there any unity with the Hispanics?
Now, if you deal with drugs, they ain't gonna deal with you. They'll leave you as I can. But if you don't, they're gonna stick with you. They're out there stick together.
They respect it? I mean, are they victimized or what?
Now, they ain't gonna teach us mess with them. The Mexicans or Latinos, they ain't gonna mess with them. But some already become from the street system. You feel what I'm saying? And if you in that drug, they'll say, well, you on your own, you outcast. So whatever happened to you, you on your own. You feel what I'm saying?
That's because if you're out there doing drugs, then there's numerous problems that come with you getting high, which you could jeopardize all of us. You want to stick together. You want to be safe. Stay off dope. And we're here
right.
together.
Yeah.
Pretty good policy. Pretty good policy, right?
Yeah, and then they make the knives out of the bed. So Elmo was taking all the boxes up to try to stop them from making the knife. You can make knives right out of the bed. Out of the rack, the bed.
You know, you're the perfect guy that I wanted to bring on because there's people that have made comments about, you know what, man, they're in prison for something. They're killing each other. We don't care. They don't care if they eat. Man, you were really in prison for some shit you didn't do. You got hit with a pipe. You got hit with a pipe and had your ribs broke, and you shouldn't even been there. This is the story that I want people to understand. When people leave these comments, like the guy last year, we put him up, the white dude with his ear was like this, and they're like, man, they beat him up. Both of his eyes are black. People are like, man, if he's a chomo or whatever, he deserves everything he gets, and he's not. He's got like 60 years for a robbery. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, man.
And it was a traffic violation. I ain't have no felony or misdemeanor. It was a traffic violation. Gave me 2 consecutive life. And you know what they told me my parole was November 2031. But now look at, by the grace of God, I ain't on no parole. I ain't on no probation or nothing. I'm a free man.
You're a free man. And let me say this. I'm going to give you a word of advice, man. You seem like a very intelligent dude. You've been through some things. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be sentenced to 2 life sentences, you know, in the death of your girlfriend who you loved and cared about. My advice to you is, you know what, man? Get you a bus ticket, man, and go somewhere else, man. Start over, man. Start over. We ain't got nothing to do with Alabama. Leave Alabama, bro. Leave Alabama and get your life together somewhere else, man.
I have a little daughter, and I've been out of her life. She turned 14 this month. Yeah.
14.
And I've been going all her life. Just up.
Man, you can spend some time with her. Let's talk a little bit about, what do you think, being that you were in Alabama, what would change that prison system, bro?
What would change that prison system first? They need to get rid of Cashapp, because I have never seen her go and visit all the prisons, see how they really live it in there. You know what I'm saying? And for once, you got to change how the food. The food, like, not fit for human consumption. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. You know, and get some guards in there to be able to be counseling, to talk to people, because a lot of people in there need somebody just to talk to. And they ain't got nobody who they can talk to, you know what I'm saying? And then give people hope. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really wanted to come on here and to talk with you, to give other people in there hope, saying, if God did it for me, learn that law, go in that law like there. But a lot of other people in there, it makes us try to trick them out of their food item, thinking that they know a little bit about law, you know what I'm saying, and mess their paperwork up, but they need to study for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because nobody know a case better than their own case, themselves. You know, and they can be able to fight to get their own self, because a lot of people just gave up hope. You know what I'm saying? And the officers, they ain't trying to counsel nobody. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't care, you just let it run, and just, that's $1 billion corporation. That's all about money.
Let me ask you this. You know, about a month ago, a cop and 2 other inmates were charged with the murder of another inmate.
How that was in that prison? Yeah.
How does that happen?
The officer named Sanders. I just left that prison. That's the prison I got out of. I know that me and them inmates, we slept in the same dorm together. Freddie Gooden He just did almost 40 years. He ain't had but 3 more or 4 more years to go. But the officer had them. They were the hitman for the police. You know what I'm saying? And they killed my little homeboy that we were raised up together. You know what I'm saying? And they were real close to me. They killed him. You know what I'm saying? They called him Big Man. You know, he from Montgomery.
What did they kill him for? I'm curious. Why was he killed? What did he do wrong?
Okay. Now the story was he wanted to go eat breakfast. They would not let him eat breakfast. Sergeant Mars, this a female, sprayed him. Now he might knocked over the juice keg where they put juice in. She sprayed him, and he's trying to get the Mason stuff out of his face and hit her. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't tried to hit her. And so all the police and stuff jumped on him. You know what I'm saying? And so when they jumped on him, they took him to the back gate because I told you Elmo don't have no hospital. So while he was at the back gate, Sergeant Sanders, he go get to his hitman and take them back to the back gate and let them whoop on them some more. That's how they killed him. And by the time they take him down the street to the hospital, to another prison, he was dead.
That's, I mean, how do you go to prison and the cop hires 2 prisoners to kill you? I mean, this is like, like some stuff that just doesn't even seem like it's right. Like that it's like, that's a lie. You know, people are like, no, that didn't happen. But that's actually what happened. With murder. You said the man had 3 or 4 more years left.
3 or 4 more years. And he had a non-violent case. Like he was just so institutionalized, he loved the prison. Pretty good.
For them dudes that thought that he ran the prison because he's been there so long and all that good stuff.
You know, he was a runner. They gave him, you know what I'm saying, let him walk around. When you being a runner, you get like little special privilege. When you locked down, you can move around. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, they look at him, okay, he the OG or something, because he did a lot of time, and he know how to prison run, you know what I'm saying? So they get him a little privilege.
Now he's never going to get out.
Yeah, he'll never get out now.
Let's talk a little bit about the cops, because I had a white dude call me, right, from Alabama, on his contraband cell phone. People are like, how they got phones in there? I think they got phones.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing they do, because the world wouldn't know what's going on, right? He told me, man, he said, man, sometimes, you know, he said there's a lot of black cops, right? And he said that the cops will let the black dudes beat up the white dudes. They enjoy it. Like, they're like, yeah, man, they love it. Is that true, or is that some bullshit?
Yeah. If you have a problem, because a lot of times white guys get on that dope that we got, especially on the ice, that meth, you know what I'm saying? And they can't control it. Because it's a man-made. And they wig out. You know what I'm saying? They make them act different. And once you bother the police, especially, they trying to sit down, ain't trying to do nothing, throwing up, they keep on bothering. Yeah, they just let people beat them. You know what I'm saying? And they want to do nothing about it. You know, because of the simple fact they say, well, we tired of him getting on our nerves.
How many black dudes have you seen victimized in there?
A couple of them, because they sprung out on drugs too. Black guys sprung out on drugs too. You know what I'm saying? They start turning themselves out, sell their body too. They sell their beds, they sell their mat, they sleeping on the floor too.
Don't you think it would be wise for the black inmates, the white inmates, the Hispanic inmates to stick together and stop victimizing each other and try to get some real change? You know, not through violence, but maybe.
See, the thing about it is like a black market, and they don't care nothing about nothing but money and no kind of structure. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they ain't getting out, so they gonna turn to drugs to get high.
Dudes that are in there making money, right? You said, you know, all they care about is money. Are them dudes in there trying to get money to hire a lawyer that are selling drugs? What are they getting money for? For when they get out? What are they doing?
To get to the women, I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of them won't even care about getting out. You know what I'm saying? Because they see their case so messed up. They're hustling for real, just, you know what I'm saying, take care of women's on the street. And the women's on the street, you know what I'm saying, keep money on their books. You know what I'm saying? They don't even try to utilize it. If they do get a phone, try to call out to get some help. Because everybody case in Alabama prison, it's a loophole in it. You know what I'm saying? That's all they got to do is search their case and find a loophole. But they don't care. A lot of them just gave up.
Let me ask you this. What about the female staff in there? Are dudes getting at them?
Oh, man, yeah. They prostituting, selling their body, you know what I'm saying, bringing phones inside around, you know what I'm saying, they show the clip, you know, they selling their body, making money too, because they see so many people in prison, they make money. You know, it's just like a black market.
The women, the correctional officers are having sex with prisoners. What are they charging them?
Huh?
What are they charging them? What's the going rate?
Oh, just $100. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So for $100, they can jump on that thing for $100.
$100 to jump on it. Then women guard you getting pregnant.
Well, I ask you that, and I laugh about it, and I probably shouldn't, but that just shows that the corruption that people can be, and I ask you that for a reason, that people can be manipulated for $100, right? So, excuse me. So what would they do for 1,000, or what would they do for 500? You know, this is why you have a system that's just out of control. And I think the way that you fix Alabama is you make people become accountable. You put body cams on the cops that they have to keep on. You change some programming. You start giving out some parole so people feel like, hey, man, if I do the right thing, I could possibly get out.
They're right.
And you know,
they took the form and they bring the form back. You know what I'm saying? And give a person something to do. See, they don't do nothing than that. Just sit around and just look at each other. No job, career, especially level 4s. You ain't working outside the gate. You're just gonna be sitting in a building looking at each other, looking at 200-300 different inmates. So you know you're gonna be a testing when you don't go outside for about an hour, and then they lock you back in the building with all the inmates. You're gonna be a testing. Some guy has stuff and other guy don't have, and then he gonna want to steal what he got. Now they gonna whoop him, clutch him out, you know what I'm saying? Or make him get on the phone, get your folks, you send 10 times more where he stole, you know.
Crazy, man. So listen, man, before we get ready to go, you know, again, I'm going to ask people, if you're going to make a donation this week or today to the channel, please make it to this brother, man. We're going to put up his Cash App. He's struggling. But, you know, not only is he struggling, but he's a man that's out there looking for a job, right? He's staying with some folks that he's got to pay, you know, for his rent or whatever. He's struggling. So we're going to look out for you over here, right? I don't pay people for interviews, but I'm going to look out for you. And I'm going to ask everybody, man, to go ahead at Cash App, even if it's $10, $20. This brother needs some help, but he's not out here begging. This brother's out here looking for a job. Hopefully he gets one. And again, man, my advice to you, bro, is get out of Alabama. So before we go, man, anything you want to say about, you know, to the youngsters that are out there caught up in the wrong thing in Alabama that might end up in prison, you know, getting, you know, hey, look, man, getting attacked, booty bandits, drugs. I mean, it's a dangerous place, man, and just a vicious way to live. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you know like I know, stay out here on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Because you get tied up in the Alabama Department of Correction, they ain't turning you loose. If you go into something you don't know, you're going to make it back out. You might die in there. If you love your freedom and love your family, straighten your act up, get a job, do the right thing, and stay out here on these streets. Because there's a whole nother world in there. They'll kill you, or you end up killing somebody else, and you'll be trapped in prison. You know what I'm saying? So I advise you, do the right thing, stay out here on these streets. Because don't wait till it's too late and get down that road and give you so much time, and you just give up hope and you just give up on life. You know what I'm saying? The time is now. Change your thought. You know what I'm saying? And stay out here and go to school. Get a job. You know what I'm saying? It's lovely on this side. Get on that side, you don't know you're going to make it out. You will die in there.
Well, listen, bro, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I'm going to tell people, if you like what we're doing, man, support the cause. You want to help make some change, man, write some letters to the governor over there in Alabama, Kay Ivey, who really ain't worth shit. Write some letters, man, to the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. I'll try to find the addresses and put them up in the description and say, hey, look, man, I'm a taxpayer. There needs to be change because the conditions there are absolutely horrendous. But anyway, I'm going to tell people, man, hit that like button, subscribe, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. It's real and it's raw. We're trying to do what we can to help the people. Until tomorrow, with respect, we're out.